Oh, your Discord doesn't register when you're streaming. Okay then. It's not.
Not even now, because now I turn on stream mode. I usually don't have it on, because I can't be bothered.
As a Discord noob, I don't even know where to find it.
Most of the time, if you open a streaming program, the Discord will just tell you that you're streaming.
Yeah, but it doesn't always do that for me, and I can't be bothered to look at it.
So where's the link in that case,
yeah.
since I can't get it through your account?
No, it actually says streamer mode is enabled.
Fair enough.
For me.
I can't get the link through your account though, so where was the link?
I'll send it to you. I'll open my own stream and get the YouTube link.
Yep, fair enough.
Do it the hard way. Because that's the way I like it.
Typical Dutch.
Hey, if it works,
yeah.
It's stupid.
Well, when you have the average internet
Typical
speed
Dutch.
of about 500 megabits per second, you can get away with quite a lot.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. Wish I had that here in the UK. In fact, I found that even in Thailand, the internet speeds are usually better than here in the UK.
Well, when you consider the fact that Thailand has one of the best internet speeds in the world, no wonder.
I didn't know that, but I will remember that for sure. Next time I'm out now.
It is a bit weird though now, because I can't change the name of my stream. Apparently, I don't know. It's being weird, but I don't mind.
Okay, I'd like to see your system map. Okay, you have 2 terraformables up top. They're the blue.
No, but it says 1 terraformable on EDSM. It's A6, B5, B6, B7. It should be one of those, but I clicked them all and they don't have like that thing.
Okay, the one with the moon, that should be terraformable, and then there should be terraformable down the bottom as well. Yeah, that one should be. And so A5 would be the 5th one across, which is the yellowish one. Oh, when I said with the moon, I didn't mean the grey one. I'm confusing, sorry. Yeah, it depends on the mass of the planet. The lighter it is, the longer it takes. By the way, I like how you have Sol on your dashboard.
It looks pretty cool.
What's your ship again?
I think one of my programs crashed. That usually does my track IR. Huh.
How many screens do you have your Elite running on?
3.
3.
Wow. I still only run it on 1. That could sound sad to anybody not playing Elite Dangerous.
I suddenly realized how I made my mistake. I underestimated how... I underestimated how far... overestimated how far all the planets are from the stars. So basically, according to your EDMC, the furthest planet from the first star, then the furthest 3 planets on the second star. By the way, I love how when you do a close pass of a planet, you get that vroom.
What I usually run is ED Discovery. It gives me the zone in which you might find a habitable or terraformable planet. And then look at the system map and find anything that looks shiny within there. Anything grey I usually tend to skip scanning, but everything that looks like it might be shiny, yeah, I scan. If I really could be bothered, I'd create an overlay that would actually show me within Elite Dangerous the range in which you might find terraformables.
Yeah. I find
Pretty cool setup. It would actually be nice if Frontier would just have that kind of stuff in your cockpit, or at least allow you to enable it in your cockpit. Not everybody will be interested in it, but yeah, people that go out into the black like us, they will be interested.
I used to run 3 monitors, then I got VR, and then lost the need for one of my monitors. I'm quite good at offsetting that difference.
Well, I've got a nice 4K screen in the middle, and I could use 2 satellite 1080p monitors on the side. Currently using a side monitor, which is a very old 4x3 1600 by 1200 pixel monitor.
Ooh, that is a very, very...
Old?
I have not heard that resolution since 1999.
Well, as I'm a software developer, programmer, that aspect ratio makes actually more sense than the current one.
I know, right? I wasn't saying anything bad about it.
Well, I know it's just the reason that I stuck with it. It's been my main monitor for I don't know, donkey's years. I only replaced it with a 4K monitor just about a year ago.
By the way, a good way around the downside of 16:9s, a lot of programmers that I'm friends with actually will make the monitors 9x16s.
Yeah, flip them around. Yeah, I've done that before.
It's so easy to read when you do that.
Yeah, but if you become really nerdy, then you're going to say, oh, I'm going to write my blocks of code, procedures, methods, whatever, and make them too long, because they're only supposed to be like 50, 60 lines long. Anyway, there you go. OCD in my kind.
I prefer a much simpler mnemonic for how long they should be. The shorter, the better.
Amen to that. And just you eliminate control structures by subclassing and etc. etc. You know all the techniques probably.
Yeah, I used to be in a software engineering course.
If I tell you how long I've been programming commercially, then you'll laugh. Slightly longer, make it 31 years. Well, well, when I started programming, the first computer I programmed on commercially had a hard disk of 5 megabytes. Compare that with the memory you currently have on your graphics card.
8 gigabytes? Yeah. which somehow my Elite Dangerous manages to use all of, by the way.
Well, it does it to enable the high frame rates and to speed things up for you. Elite Dangerous is actually pretty good at scaling down if it needs to.
Well, I actually went into a file setting and I've pushed one setting so hard that the galactic map is a pain in the rear to use, but when you're in Super Cruise or normal space, it just amps the visuals up amazingly. Did you just get someone else's file and then copy that in? Yeah, that was a mistake. Basically, you should have seen the files and used the file as a guideline, because if you just copied someone else's file in, you also get their hard preferences. If you want, have you taken any photos of the Omega sector? Oh, okay. It's hard to tell where you are because that place is just dense anyway. So, yeah, that'll do. Yeah, just open it. The galactic plane seems darker than usual, so they might be in effect. Okay, zoom out a little bit. Nah, the settings are basically default. I'll try to find an early picture of when I first turned on the setting of the galactic core. I really wish Reshade worked with VR. Okay, my picture is going to be a direct message to you. Okay, there we go. This is a picture of Sag A. Now look at it in your galactic map.
Have you not been there yet?
No, actually, the reason why I wanted him to look at his own is because it wasn't going to look anything like what my galactic map looked for it. Yeah, that was Sajay. That's what it actually looks like. It is over the top for a map, but what that setting also does is when you load into a new sector, the skybox is actually a panoramic image of the map at that point at a much higher resolution. That panoramic image is also kind of not an image in a way, where closer things will move relative to further away things, based on how fast you're going. That's the actual reason why you get a sense of motion at 500 plus C. Because the stars in the background are actually indeed moving. It's so slow you can barely notice it consciously, but it's actually happening. Red 5, I sent you the picture. I forget whether you commented on it or not.
No, I didn't have Discord running full screen, so I didn't see it yet. I'll have a look now.
It's not mine either. I essentially have the settings turned up. Like, the highest setting for the galactic map is 6,000 by default. Right? 240,000.
I didn't even know you could do that, but wow. God.
No, they're not. But yeah, it's like, it doesn't affect your frame rate when you're in normal space. You can see how much better the galaxy looks when you're in normal space, but it doesn't affect your frame rate, which is good. It also doesn't affect your memory in normal space either, which is also good. But the downside is the galactic map runs like poop. Like, if you looked in the corner of the screen for that screenshot, the first thing you would notice is a frame rate of 10 FPS. For a galactic map! I normally have 90. Mainly because the Vive limits you to 90 FPS. That's a very expensive system anyway that you're scanning. It's very nice. That's because you're only scanning the smaller bodies as of yet. The next two are going to be really big hit. Next three are going to be really big hitters. As those ones will be worth between. Okay, the three after. The last three is going to be worth 400,000. And then you'll have 600, 700,000 for the next two after that. So yeah, it is a very big system. It's just you haven't hit many of the big bodies because of the way you're scanning. So I do commend your scan everything attitude. I'm going to spend almost all of tomorrow going to Eagle Nebula. Well, I basically did the opposite. I went to a nebula that's actually past Eagle Nebula. That was a 1,800 light year trip. And then I took a lot of photos of a very photogenic O-class star, as you probably already saw. Like, those ecliptics were perfect, you know. And then I headed out from there by 2 jumps, so 100 light years, towards the Eagle Nebula, and I set down on a moon of a ringed gas giant for the night. I should be arriving in the Eagle Nebula by 12 o'clock tomorrow my time. As I was saying, how's that for knowing your planets? The next 2 look like they're both water worlds, so they should be somewhere between 600 and 700,000. The water world has a hologram that literally looks like a ball of water, so it's hard to miss. To be honest, I've been so good at seeing it by eye in the system map that I very rarely need to check the other visuals or the audio cue. Nice. The other one should be around about the same as their twin planets. No. The actual specific keyboard layout of the DeLacy keyboards is specifically the keyboard layout of the Commodore 64. Yep.
That's the computer I first played Elite on. Oh god. Don't need to remind me, I know.
I'm the young'un here. It's the funny thing, right? I'm so used to being the senior of all of the communities that I'm in, and here I am, the young'un. And then here's Elite Dangerous, where almost everyone I meet is in their 30s, 40s. In fact, one of my best friends from Elite is nearly as old as my dad, which is actually ridiculous, since my dad was 70 when he passed on. Well, sorry, nearly 70 when he passed on, and that was basically a decade ago. Yeah.
I'm not quite that old yet. Not yet.
You get my point, though. Like, I've never been in a game where I would meet anybody older than me, and I'm 24. So this is quite a role reversal for me.
Oh, it's one of those things. I think a lot of Elite players actually used to play the old games, the Elite Frontier, and all that. And yeah, when Elite Dangerous came out, they just hopped back on the bandwagon.
Oh, did you know that Elite is now on mobile, like the original Elite?
On mobile? No, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I did download the emulated version on the PC.
It's called Elite. The only difference between it and the original version is they use the 3D graphics mode of some emulators. You know the mode where the graphics mode that some ports of Elite use, that gets the original images and then puts textures on them?
Can't remember the name, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's that style of the original Elite.
Wow, I gotta find that.
I'll find it so I can give you the proper spelling for it.
Cool, thanks for that.
Oh, here we go. It's spelled A-L-I-T-E.
Okay, I'll have a look.
And basically they ported the original engine and then slapped better graphics on it, which is pretty nice. Here's the description for you. Elite is a fan port of the classic Elite from the 80s. Specifically, Elite focuses on the Amiga version. Command your Cobra spaceship in a fantastic voyage of discovery, adventure, and trade, a supreme test of your combat, navigational, and entrepreneurial skills. Trade between countless planets using the proceeds to equip your ship with heat-seeking missiles, beam lasers, and other weapons. Corporate states can be approached with little risk, but unruly anarchies may be swarming with space pirates. There is a lot of bounty to be made for the daring pilot. Do you have it in you? Learn how to fly your Cobra in a series of face-to-face lessons from renowned Commander Quello and profit from his vast experience. Remember, black market trading can be lucrative, but could result in skirmishes with local police and a price on your head. However, you make your money by fair means or foul. You must blast onwards through space, annihilating pirate ships, hostile aliens, as you strive to earn your reputation as one of the elite. For more information, visit http://alight.mobi. Alight is inspired by Elite, copyrighted by Acorn Soft, Bell and Braben.
Well, what I see, it's not available for Apple devices. Poor me.
Oh. That is one of the most in-depth descriptions of any fan port I've ever come across. Like, most fan ports are like, it's Elite, just for mobile, or, you know, things like that. You know?
Well, the Elite community rarely does anything half.
Are you going to take a photo of any of those magma flows? Yeah. I was just wondering, because magma flows are always perfect for photos. Like, they're the second most photogenic worlds. By the way, how do you get how do you get that in-depth loadout of terraformability, like Earth-like water world and ammonia worlds having different terraformabilities? Does that also work for? Does that plugin also work for just double clicking on a on the description of a star? Because I can't use the plugin for use a visual plugin because it just does not work.
It's called HabZone, the plugin. You can see it on my stream.
Okay, so just settings, HabZone, okay. Because that kind of information is invaluable to people like me who, while I am out there for the pretty things, I admit that I have to be able to pay the cost of that wear and tear, you know? You can get to about 2-3 megameters, 200 kilometers if you really feel really adventurous. You can go all the way down to 200 kilometers if you're feeling really adventurous. Basically, you can get... Yeah. You can actually get so close to the planet that in VR, you can actually see that the lava flow actually has a peak and then it's flowing down slightly. It's not animated, but it's still very effective. You can move in by until you start seeing megameters instead, and still move in a little bit more actually. Of course, I would be a better judge of this if it was in 3D, because I'm just so used to planets in 3D now. But yeah, that's actually plenty close, to be honest. Like, you have your field of view pretty much filled. If you went into third-person view, you would be able to, but that's very nice. But since you told me about HAB zone, I'm going to look it up now, because knowing HAB zones for different planet types, that's amazing.
I can't put pictures in the Discord now.
That's weird. Oh, it's an EDMC plugin. I was kind of hoping that the EDMs that the plugin was going to be for ED Discovery. Looks so nice. It takes up pretty much your whole field of view, and I love it.
Because I'm gonna make some breakfast, or lunch, or both, I don't know.
Sounds good. Don't forget to turn off your stream.
Yeah, for the stream I'm gonna turn it off now. Bye, stream!
Right.